evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of our podcast, Beneath Your Skin. This is Gaia, completely crazy and pissed off. You will find out why during this episode. And we decided to open a new section of our podcast today, and it will be called What to Do to Make Bad Horror Movies. It will be just a list of tips we will give you after watching probably too many bad movies. The first one is this one. So, if you want to make a bad horror movie about demonic possession, you need at least one scene that you can claim was shooted in Rome. You have done it. You are probably now ready to shoot a bad movie, and you have the right imprimatur to start your career. I'm not sure how long it's going to last, but that's out of my hands right now. Hello, my dear. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. As you said, so much salt and anger at this movie that was absolutely diabolical. My pet peeve that will probably go on our list of how to make a bad horror movie. I've noticed there's a bad thing that a lot of bad demonic possession movies do. I've noticed it now. My pet peeve is make sure there's one line or one scene that was originally in The Exorcist, so that your audience knows that you've seen The Exorcist. Like this one, it was although my faith is strong, my will is weak. And I'm like, you have not got the gravitas to pull off that line. And no, the exact same with the drink and everything. It's like, no. And it's the last one we watched did it as well, going, hi, have you seen The Exorcist? We have. We're going to remake it. And you're like, no, stop. The Exorcist is perfect. The Exorcist is wonderfully done. If you want to advance this genre and prove that you too can tell interesting demonic possession, don't make it The Exorcist. Make it different. The good ones we've watched, like The Priests, like the one we watched recently, The Possession, it's the different cultures, different aspects, different family units, different people being possessed.
Yes, people, listen to us, please. Listen to us. We watched something like 41 movies about demonic possession already for this podcast. We know what we are talking about. We are watching movies since the day we were old enough to be left alone in front of a TV screen. Please listen to us. Stop trying to make The Exorcist. The Exorcist was wonderful, is wonderful, and will always be wonderful. You can't do better than that. So change your plot, change your characters, change the dynamics between your characters. Make sure you don't have plot holes, or at least make sure you have as few of them as possible. Give your movie a good closure. Give your movie characters people can love or hate, but make sure people can feel something for your characters. But stop trying to make The Exorcist again. The movie that pisses us off so badly today is called The Exorcism of Anna Ecklund. I am speechless. At this point of our podcast, at this point of our life, I am speechless. This movie is one cliche after the other. This time, I can't even say that I save the opening credits because, honestly, they gave me motion sickness. So, what happens at the beginning of the movie is that they give us a name, one of the cast, one of the crew, I don't even know anymore. And then for like a minute, more or less, after the name, you see your camera still. And in front of the camera, this woman showing that she is throwing a temper tantrum in her bedroom. She screams silently. because the background music covers what is supposed to be screams. So she screamed, she tear at her hair, and she looks straight into the camera with hate and pain and rage, or at least those were the feelings the director wanted us to feel. No, I only felt motion sickness, honestly. And yes, it happens every time they give you a name, and then they are back with the still camera on what we suppose is the main character of the movie. And it could even have worked somehow if it had lasted a lot less and it got old very fast. At the end, you were left only with motion sickness. Okay. When you survive this beginning, you are in Vatican City, of course, because, as I said, you can't make a movie about demonic possession without the Vatican, apparently. We see the other main character, the priest, the investigator. I like that they called him an investigator and not an exorcist, because somehow is a little bit better. I don't understand his logic. We find out he was investigating the supposedly miracle of a statue crying blood, and he finds out those were real tears, and the other priest is like, and didn't this strengthen your faith? No, not at all. It made me doubt even more. I don't get your logic,
Nope.
but it's okay. I know, people. Sit down, because what I'm going to say is going to shock you. The investigator, he's having a crisis of faith.
You don't say! Oh my goodness, they've never used that trope before. What? He's losing his faith?
Exactly. That was exactly my reaction. We are not actresses, but right now we are acting a lot better than the actors in the movie. The dialogue. Oh my God. Oh my God, Hannah's husband talking to the priest who knows Hannah since she was a child. How are you? I'm not doing good. What's wrong with you? It's not me. It's Hannah. And the look of pure terror on the priest's face. And you are like, God, please, if this is how they are going to act during the movie, kill me now. And no, I'm still here. So, yes. You can see why we are pissed. Oh, I will jump to another cliche, because this one, I'm pretty sure you never heard of it. What's your name? I have many names, because we are legion. Really? Again?
Oh, that's how I flip the tables, my toys went everywhere. I'm like, no, you are not. You are not legion. Shut up. That's what I...
Exactly. Oh, exactly. And okay, now I have too much salt for this movie and not enough, because this movie not only killed my brain, it killed also my salt. So sorry, please.
Oh, this movie made me angry. Okay, so the movie runs at 1 hour 15. If you take the opening credits and the ending credits, they last about 15 minutes, which means it's only an hour-long movie, and yet it still managed to be one of those boring hours of my life. The opening credits, okay, so first you have Bible verse, and it's like, oh, and the blood of the lambs and stuff. It's like, well, that will come back at something, I'm sure. But yeah, that opening, it's like girl writhing and screaming, but that really terrible music score, so it's just like, it's an actor, oh, writhing, screaming, eating pillows, rolling round. Actor, writhing, screaming, eating pillows, rolling round. Oh, I'm going to stare at the camera. Producer, oh my God, no, don't do the producer, and the director, and the special effects, and the production company. God, like everyone who had anything to do with this movie got a credit, and then they went back to Hannah rolling around the bed. But the thing is they started repeating the footage, so it was the same scenes of her rolling around the bed, crawling towards the camera, all like, oh, I'm evil, I mean, if it sounded like that, it would have been far more amusing. But instead, you actually just get complete silence and the world's most bland score going, eerie music, eerie music. Then, yeah, Vatican City. Then that conversation, I was like, oh God, they can't act. Oh, I'm in for a really painful time. And it was a really painful time because it was literally, each scene was cliche scene. It's like, hey, I'm an older priest that's worked with this family for ages. I'm a young priest. Oh, wow, never seen that before. Woo. The thing is, like, that dynamic's not always awful because obviously it works in The Exorcist. It worked in The Rite. It worked in The Priests. But it has to be more than just like, oh, I'm losing my faith, I'm old, I'm young. There has to be story behind them. There have to be reasons for why they're... And the reasons can't be, oh, I'm hunting miracles, I saw a miracle, and it made me just realise how small and insignificant I was. So therefore I don't believe in God anymore. It's like, what are you talking about? Shut up, you idiot. You just shut up. And then we have Anna and her all are like rolling around. And it's like, when possessed, why do demons only know about 3 swear words? I'm sorry, but they're all just go around calling people cocksuckers. And I'm sorry, cocksucker was a massive slur in the 70s when it was done by Reagan in The Exorcist. But, you know, we're in like a whole new like decade, century, like, you know, people aren't going around calling people cocksuckers anymore. They'll say something else. Like, just because it was said in The Exorcist, demons would know. They would like, you know, it would be something like more current. Like if you want to insult priests, you would call them like pedophiles. You'd call them like, I'm not going to say the slurs because they're gross, but you would say something current. And no, it's just cocksuckers. All demons know how to swear is cocksuckers.
Not only that, it makes a bigger impact when the curses and the full words came from the mouth of a child.
Yes.
Not a grown-up woman.
She's 25.
28, I think.
Oh, yeah. No. So.
Oh, well.
She will know those words. So don't make it about the swearing at them. And I love how offended every time someone got spat at. So it's just normal spit. And the nun's like hiding in the corner crying because one of them got spat on. It's like, I work with special needs kids. I get spat on all the time. You don't see me crying in a corner because someone spat at me. You're working in a mental institute and you're nuns. You're gonna get spat out, especially if the crazy woman rolling around the bed, and you're like, so, oh my God, you're all pathetic. All of you are pathetic. And I hated the lead guy. At least in the one that we hated the other day, he was hot. This guy is not hot, and he's just boring. And the husband can't act. And he's like, oh, save her. She's everything to me. Oh, I'm believing you. Nothing supernatural really happens. They just insert cliches. So you have the losing the faith scene. Then you have the we're having a drink, but we're priests homage exorcist scene. Then you have the rolling around the bed like a crazy person scene. Then you have the this has been in the family and I've been working with them for years and they used to be like happy and things change scene. And it just goes from, then it has the let's do the exorcism and they all walk down the corridor, slow motion, nuns, ooh. Then we have the let's roll around and swear and not do much and spit a bit, and it's like, oh, the only thing I did like was the prosthetic she had as her tongue. I quite like seeing it's like, oh, there's this prosthetic tongue, that's a bit different. Was that your entire budget on that? Also, what was with the filming? It looked like a movie that was made in the 70s. Was it trying to pretend it was made in the 70s? Because it had a really old school cinema technique. The framing was very set. They obviously loved The Exorcist and just tried to remake it, but worse. And I'm like, stop it! Because it's like, no, you can make movies that look historically and set in the past, but you can also make movies now and current, because I don't think demons are going to stop. And the minute they went, what's your name? Because I've got many names. I'm like, if you say Legion, we are Legion. No, you're not! You only have one personality! There aren't multiple personalities in there. Legion has many personalities. She would switch between different voices, different personalities, different behaviours. It would be more like Split. You know, that's how you do it. I've got more belief that James McAvoy is Legion than I do this girl. oh, the exorcism was boring. But then was all the weird dreams. I'm like, I'm under a blanket with feathers. Oh, let's do the exorcism. Okay, like, here it is. Okay, we're going to put a blanket on your face. And as if this was original Star Trek, we're going to beam flashy red and orange lights on you. Woo! I'm like, I've seen better special effects than Star Trek. So what are you doing? Why are there wobbly, like, flashing lights over a blanket? And that's how you're exorcising the demon? Cool. Well done. Yeah, so cliche. Badness. Then, like, symbolism. Oh, it's all red now. It's clearly evil and the devil and the fires of hell. Now it's all white and pure and glowy. Clearly angels and goodness, and, like, you haven't established enough of a palette to use symbolism now. And it's literally like we put a red filter over the camera. Literally like, and now everything's a bit white. There's no, like, there's no atmosphere in this movie. There's not even interesting camera angles, no one act. And then they decide to make it a little bit more original with the big twist of, like, she was a healer and was somehow managed to save someone's spine or something. It's like, I'm pretty sure it would have been a bigger deal if she was healing people's spines and curing, like, you know, broken bones and paralysis. But hey, you know. But it turns out, yeah, she was an angel all along that fell to earth and then saves them, and I couldn't care less.
And not only that, you want us to believe that she was gifted by God with healing powers. She didn't want other people to know this because she didn't want to be seen as someone different. She didn't want the church to look at her and see someone different. But you feel the need to tell us because somehow you think for this story, this twist is going to change everything. It doesn't at all. You broke once again the one rule that people should stop breaking. Show, don't tell. Show, please, show us. Show us she was so good she could be an angel sent to her by God himself. Show us you think she was somehow a new Jesus Christ coming to save us. Show us you want us to believe she's somehow a new holy virgin. Show us, don't tell us. We don't want to listen to a story. This movie was able to put me to sleep, and I have insomnia, very strong insomnia. And the acting, the acting is terrible. I don't know if you people had the very unlucky time of your life and watched this movie. When she hit the first nun, the younger one, she clearly moved before she punched her. And I was like, what? Why? And yeah, that was. And at the beginning, I had no idea why they were using the book of Exodus at the beginning of the movie, because that's not a book you use during an exorcism. It's what you read during Lent. And then I found out why the Exodus, and I wished I didn't ask myself why. So people, be very careful what you wish for, because sometimes you get answers and you are left even more pissed than before. And so yes, in the Exodus, we talk about the blood of the lamb. Guess who is the lamb now? Anna is either the lamb, the new Jesus Christ, the Holy Virgin. What really got me in this movie is when she puts her hand over the eyes of anyone who is possessed in that moment. So everyone, basically, because after they free her from Legion, who is apparently drunk and very pissed off, begins to possess everyone else around them. So 3 nuns, 1 priest, and 2 cats, 4 dogs.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, probably someone who was minding his own business outside the place where everything happens. And they're like, I feel the need of doing evil And yes, so she goes behind them, puts her hands over their eyes, they bleed through their eyes, and they are cured.
So magical, so emotional, so powerful. I believe it so much I'm moved by the magnificence and the radiance of her actions.
Yeah. And at some point, there are too many characters, but they only need 3. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, of course. So they only need 3. So the younger priest, Anna, and the husband are there just for the priest to say, us 3 can save them, because they apparently, they needed the Trinity. And we lose another character who is in the same room. So 1 second, there are 4 people in the room. Then they only need 3, and we lose 1, but he comes back. We don't know how. And you are left like, okay, why? And then you wish you had a lot more alcohol on what I had near me while I was watching this movie. I only had water, and I should have known better and take a page from the Russians' books and have vodka instead. Next time I'm probably going to stock on vodka or whatever
to help us get through these movies. We'll have a drinking game. Every time someone loses faith, like, every time there's an old priest and a young priest, when they have a line from The Exorcist or a scene from The Exorcist, we are legion. They name a higher demon that clearly it isn't.
Yes, absolutely.
A Ouija board comes out.
So you are telling me that we are going to be drunk from now on?
It's the only way we're going to survive these movies.
True. So, people, I think for today there is nothing else we can say.
No.
Zoe?
God, no. Just film was just awful. Awful movie.
So thank you for listening. And if you want to join us, drop us a line on our Twitter account, @beneath_your, or drop a line on our Facebook page, Beneath Your Skin. We are on Pinecast and Spotify. People, please, don't watch this movie. Please. Save yourself. Save your time. No one is going to give you back this 1 hour. But if you want to have a laugh, listen to our episode. For now, thank you for listening, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
As always, it's a pleasure, Gaia, especially when we rip these poor movies apart. But the people who made this one should have known better. I don't understand how it got funded. But for now, I'm saying bye-to-byes.